Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and today is Wednesday. It's October the 8th. This will be our chart lesson for the day. Today, it really looks like a range day. We were definitely in I would say it's probably, let's just call it from, say, maybe 26 to 34. So we were in about a, 8 to 10 point range right there. Early on, and when it broke lower, measured move was to right here, and you see we went a little bit lower, failed, and came back. But today's FOMC announcement day. They're going to 1 o'clock, so this is kind of typical. The market just kind of meanders around until the news comes out, and then it'll get crazy for a little while and then settle back down. That's generally what happens. Um, so this is a little bit larger range because it's really from 1920 to 34. So 14 points there. That's a little larger because sometimes what you get is really tight. Maybe a point or two that just meanders around. But the volatility's been higher lately. I think the market appears to be a little nervous right now, so the volatility is definitely higher. So anyway, let's back out a little bit and talk. I had to scrunch this up. I was looking at a possible two-tier downward channel here as well. And when we kept going lower, you had to assume that maybe this is the upper half and there was a lower part down here, and maybe this was the midpoint. But it looks like this was probably it. And I'm not even sure it's 100% valid at this point. I'm more interested in the range type day and this current two-tiered channel that's working a little bit higher right here. Um, this is what's in play at the moment, the range and this two-tiered channel. So that's what I'm more interested in, whether or not this other one was valid. If you use those first two swings in the closes, you did get a close outside it here and a move to a new low. And we also overshot the low side of this. You can see there's no doubt these lines are coming into play. Um, and we overshot it. So even if we didn't get the break here, we got the overshoot here. And that generally can lead to a reversal without a retest. So I think we get to where we want to be either way with this downward channel. And now we've got one working up. We do have a break now and a new high, so we could turn lower now. But my guess is, with it being, it's probably about 12:20 right now. So we're really close. We're probably 40 minutes away from the FOMC announcement, and so we'll have to wait and see if it may slow down considerably here. In other words, okay, I had a little interruption. I can't remember what we were talking about, but the gist of it today is it looks like a two-tiered trading range. This is your mid-tier here. Early on, it wasn't obviously a. Early on, it was just the low side of the range. But when we broke down, you got to look for a measured move, and that was right here. And we did go lower than that, but that's not uncommon either. This thing was really weak here, and we've been selling off a lot the last couple of days, off and on, and so people were getting on, looking for more of yesterday to the downside, most likely. Um, but it's recovered somewhat, and we're really, back. The larger yellow line is yesterday's open, so you can see we're up for the day at the moment. But with the FOMC announcement coming out in less than 20 minutes, 25 minutes now, anything can happen. You can see how slow it's starting to get now. It's really, really for the last, and that's kind of typical, really, since we had that big bullish bar at 12:04, and now it's 30 minutes later, and we're still within that bar. And that's kind of typical of what you'll see right around FOMC news time because everybody's, kind of just waiting to see what's going to happen because it's likely to be volatile. And so, anyway, I'm going to back out a little bit where we can see the bars a little better, and we'll talk about the trades. And I'm going to try to get this over with before pretty quickly here because I'm done for the day, and I'm not even might hang around a little bit and watch what happens with FOMC, but past that, I'm done for the day. So early on, it looked rangy. You can see prices swinging back and forth to each side of the EMA, and there was a shorter term channel working up through here like so, and we had a little break and a move to a new high, and then we had one working down. You can see that one break. It tried to go to a new low and it couldn't, and it went higher. And this was a really bullish move here. So, you got to be careful going short up here. You got to wait on a trap or a proven trend in the other direction. And so, as tempting as it was to go short right here on that second entry, notice that this one couldn't break. This one went higher and then turned out. If it would have went on out, maybe, but it didn't. You end up with a little double bottom and a doji, and then this one breaks out and it bounces off the EMA. But you get a second entry long right there. Notice the new high, pull back first entry, pull back second entry, and that was after a big bullish move up. So some longs got trapped there, and everything's closing inside that trend line. I like that one for a short, expecting that we'd come back down and test the lows again, and that's exactly where it goes. And you get a break of the channel right here. It's tempting to go short right there, but it's just too close to all this. There's the the open from this morning, and you can see it's been reacting prices both sides of it. Here's where the real low was, so there's not much room there. So just wait and see what happens. And you get a little bounce, and you get a little trap right there, and it turns back down. And now you got room to get out before here, and definitely before here. So, you might have used a limit order here, but I think you're okay to use a stop. And notice you got that high, and you've tested it twice now, and you got a lower double top than that high. That's your little double test rule. So I like that as a trap to the downside. And it didn't